This is going to come as a shocker, but there is a Casio keyboard that you do not need. In fact, it's probably a whole generation of these wood grain early CasioTones that have really no value as a synthesizer. And I like Casio. I think Casio has been a gateway drug for synth users, prosumer, and even just consumer-based products. This one here is a definite consumer-based with an onboard speaker that sounds terrible, and 16 tones that also really have very little flexibility or usability. What's funny to me is I actually think that the drum patterns, as lame as they are, actually are the most interesting part of this instrument. They definitely sound like something out of Napoleon Dynamite. And when you layer them with the organ, you can have some nice cheesy sounds, I guess. The problem is there's really, aside from adding vibrato and vibrato delay, there's no way to inflect any change on the sounds themselves. So you have 16 sounds that are all kind of like, sound like string synthesis, that are really not too exciting. As you can see here, there's really no envelope mapping or anything like that, so I can just keep my finger down and change through sounds. The good news is this does have, I think, 16 note timbrality, so you can actually play chords and stuff. And that was me showing you what the onboard speaker sounds like. This keyboard's 40-something years old at this point, so it's great that even works, but the reality is it probably sounded terrible in 1980 as it does today. So it's not too bad, right? Like, you can hear that there's some playability in this machine. And I will say, to my dying day, that Casio built rugged as hell keyboards in this day. I've never come across one of these that doesn't work completely. The switches are really strong. The keys always seem to work. The onboard speaker seems to work. I think overall these machines were built with quality in mind versus usability and flexibility. And, unfortunately today, these are, just not very usable or desirable. So I think it's pretty self-evident that this is a synthesizer that you didn't know, or you didn't know you didn't want. The sound flexibility is pretty weak. The drum patterns are kind of boring. They're kind of kitschy, but there's not a lot there. If they even just included some octave up, octave down, and maybe even a filter, this could have been a really cool machine. I think if you find one of these for what I paid for it, which is about the cost of a sandwich on an airplane, great, go for it. It probably will work perfectly, and you'll never need to think about servicing it because the build quality on these is so good. But aside from that, this is going to be something that sits in your studio or in your bedroom that looks kind of cool but doesn't have a lot of use. This sound effect called frog is probably the best thing about this keyboard. On its low register, it's got a kind of an eerie sound to it. Like and subscribe if you want to get more content like this. I definitely love sharing these videos.